Asian people really are the most joyful. They love to laugh, dance, and sing. And so joy just, and in the midst of this, they want to be able to still do that. Like, they don't want this to crush them. And they know that they want to share the love of Christ with teenagers in their country. So that's
I remember one time we were there, it was right after the earthquake. So that was like
2011.
Yeah, 11 years ago. And we would be, you see all this devastation all around. And yet at night you would hear the church near the place we were staying, and they would just be worshiping and praising Jesus like all night long. And it was kind of like, how do you praise Jesus? Like, for us, like, I don't know, we get a speeding ticket and it's like the end of the world, you know what I mean? Or we just kind of these little things, and they're like, earthquake, my house fell in, and their response is still just the joy. And that's kind of like the hope, because that's the one thing they can cling to in the midst of all the despair, is that God is their hope.
The focus of the church is not the building, right? But the church is people. And how can we empower people to gather and provide them with resources so that they feel that they're capable to invite their neighbors and do church? Because COVID kept us away, but the church did not stop. The church continued. And so I feel like this burden in our hearts to, especially for our Spanish community, how can we empower them? How can we expand the kingdom of God by letting them know, hey, you're actually called to make disciples too. It's not just bring them on Sunday so that they can hear from a pastor share. You're called to do that. So how can we equip you to do that? And so I feel like at that point, things started to get a little bit cleared. The ministry that God calls us to do is, how can we do that? Exactly. How can we create those resources? How can we facilitate a way for people to do church just like back in the early years of the church? They would gather at home, they would have a meal, they would just share with one another. How can we empower them to do that?